What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? It is your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha. Represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. I want to welcome each and every one of y'all to my segment that I would like to call the Celebrity Chase. Is when I cover stories within the entertainment industry pertaining to celebrities that have been caught in some type of scandal or chaotic situation. So, if y'all have not heard by now about this particular incident with your boy Chad Wheeler, I'm sure y'all have heard all about it, because I know good darn well these brothers, these black male content creators, these bitter pill speakers, I know they was all over the story like a white girl on an NBA player. Because you know they just can't wait for a sister, a black woman, to get caught up in some type of scandal or humiliating, embarrassing situation. You know, it gives them new material to add to their black female fuckery content. So I know there's not too many male spaces that you haven't gone to that did not already cover the story. Not only that, I know there's been some female content creators that y'all feel is not addressing it. Y'all feel like we like to hide behind these type of issues when it comes to black women. We don't want to do no content, but for one, I'm not going to go in hiding. I am here to address the situation and give my intake on this situation that occurred with Seattle Seahawks NFL former player Chad Wheeler. So for those of you who have not heard, Chad Wheeler basically got in a domestic violence situation with his girlfriend, which happens to be a black woman by the name of Aaliyah. So basically what happened was Wheeler, 27, was arrested on Saturday after an attack on his girlfriend, which he later claimed was the result of a manic episode. Court documents allege that Wheeler strangled, suffocated, and beat the victim into unconsciousness twice, both times leaving her for dead as blood poured from her nose and mouth and into her stomach and lungs. This is according to TMZ. He's reportedly been hit with one count of first-degree domestic violence assault, one count of domestic violence unlawful imprisonment, and one count of resisting arrest. The girlfriend, whose name has been released publicly by the name of Aaliyah, called cops and said that she was being killed by the night of the arrest. The 6'7" and 310-pound offensive line man allegedly choked her until she passed out and was surprised when she came to Kent Police Department to report the situation. As per the report, Wheeler had not been taking his prescribed medication for bipolar disorder. So basically, I guess because of all the heat they've been given, all the negative publicity, Chad Wheeler felt that he needed to go on Twitter and address this. Now, keep in mind, this situation did not just happen today. But ironically, you're hearing so much about it now, you would think it happened today. No, this occurred since the 23rd. This happened since last weekend, okay? And what has happened was, when those pictures went viral of the victim with the amount of physical damage that was done to her face, that's the only reason why they're hyping it up. This has transpired a week ago. This been happening. And I strongly feel that had that photo not went viral, they would have swept it up under the rug. They would have just told him, what we're going to do is make you get some counseling. We're going to make you go to anger management. They would have tried to protect him. I believe the NFL, I believe the law, I believe he was going to get a lot of protection on this, because let's be honest, he got the complexion for the connection, all right? But so happened he got exposed, and because the pressure got turned up, NFL had no choice but to drop him. Okay, it's like one of those things you only feel sorry when you get caught type of things. As long as nobody saw it, he probably wouldn't have felt the need to go on Twitter and address it. So anyway, this is what he posted on his Twitter account. He said, he posted on 27th. He tweeted, "It is time for me to walk away from football and get the help I need to never again pose a threat to another. I cannot express my sorrow or remorse enough. I am truly ashamed." Okay, he said it's time for him to walk away from football, which he didn't walk away voluntarily. They gave him the walking papers. So he's not taking no accountability too much on this. He tweeted 38 minutes later, after that, "I apologize profusely for the turmoil that I have caused to my family, teammates, fans, and those closest to me. The most important thing right now is that Aaliyah gets the care she needs and I get help. Both are happening." A minute later, I guess he didn't feel like he was able to redeem himself with that last tweet. He tweeted again. Events happened over the weekend that transpired from a manic episode. I am deeply sorry for the pain and suffering that I have caused Aaliyah and her family. So, sounds like he's blaming this on his manic episode. They basically been insinuating that this man has like a mental disorder, like a bipolar disorder. So I also wanted to also read another article that also discussed this. Let me give a little bit more details. Seahawks dropped Chad Wheeler after domestic violence arrest. Seattle Seahawks have cut ties with offensive lineman Chad Wheeler after his arrest last weekend for domestic violence. The team made the announcement Wednesday after pressure, like I said, exposure, had been mounting for the public for the NFL and the team to take action after Wheeler, who is accused of throwing and strangling his girlfriend, was held in the King County Jail on Monday night. Wheeler on Monday appeared in King County District Court, and bail was set at $400,000. It was ordered not to have contact with the alleged victim and to surrender all weapons, according to Seattle Times. On Monday night, the Seahawks released a statement that they were aware of the situation and still gathering information. That response was ridiculed by many online who saw the team's statements as a dismissal of the accusation against Wheeler. So basically, when the NFL made that statement, they were aware of the situation, but they were still gathering more information. It was like, okay, what goddamn more information you need? So people started feeling some type of way already. Somebody posted underneath, Chad Wheeler of the Seahawks tried to kill his girlfriend because she wouldn't bow to him. He was even surprised at her survival. If you're not outraged, you're part of the problem. By Wednesday afternoon, the team made the decision to remove the lineman who had played 5 games this season from the team. The Seahawks are saddened by the details emerging against Chad Wheeler and strongly condemn this act of domestic violence. Our thoughts and support are with the victim. Chad is a freed agent and no longer with the team, the Seahawks spokesperson said in a statement. Kent Police Department report obtained by the Times revealed police responded to a call from a woman who was reportedly locked in the bathroom following a physical fight with her boyfriend. The victim had called 911 to state that she was being killed. Once officers arrived, they observed the woman had suffered a dislocated arm and was bleeding. According to the report, officers could also hear screaming when they arrived, which led them forcing their way into the apartment. They forced their way into the bathroom and found the victim in Wheeler. He was standing beside her, the report said. Prior to the alleged attack, Wheeler, who was 6 foot and 310 pounds, had reportedly asked the victim, who was 5'9" and 140 pounds, 45 pounds to be exact, to bow to him, and when she did not, he grabbed her and threw her on the bed. The report said Wheeler then strangled the victim before she lost consciousness. The report also said when she regained consciousness, Wheeler was standing over her bed and said, "Wow, you're alive?" The victim then ran into the bathroom where she called 911 and family, according to the report. Wheeler picked the lock on the door and entered before officers arrived. According to the report, Wheeler had been on medication for bipolar but had not taken it lately. The victim was transported to Valley Medical Center in Kent because of arm pain, the report said. Oh, so as you can see, this whole situation is not pleasant. Now, I get it. I understand that. Like I said, I'm sure the brothers in the BFF community are throwing a party right now. They probably popping bottles. And I know definitely they male subscribers are. Yeah, that's what these black women get. That's what they get for swirling. I'm glad he put his black BITCH in check. These BITCHs need to be put into check. It was just really, really awful. The comments that people were leaving below, because my thing is, y'all are so busy focusing on gender wars and gender hate that you're overlooking the whole bottom line that this woman could have died. Okay, somebody could have been planning her funeral. This woman has a family. She has children. This is somebody's daughter. Okay, how much you don't like black women, or how much you want black women to roll over and die and rot. This is a human being, and she has done nothing personally to any of you black men out here for y'all to feel some type of way and for y'all to rejoice in the midst of such a traumatizing situation that y'all would make this all out of fun. And I find it very sickening. I no more than, I don't find this any more funny than when Dr. Dre's wife, you know, attorneys pressured this man while Dr. Dre was in a hospital bed with a brain aneurysm. She still wanted him to sign that he would agree to send her some more millions a month. I'm like, really? The man is dying, and you're more concerned about an allotment? This man may not even make it through this. So I find it very sickening, and it's very aggravating when black men and black women like to rejoice at the faults of one another's and at the tragedies of one another. I mean, it comes a point in time when you should just keep your goddamn opinions to yourself. Because if it was your sister, if it was your daughter, if it was your female cousin, I'm sure you would have felt some type of way. You wouldn't have cared if he was a black man or a white man. Now, let me also point this out for all of the brothers who are making a big deal out of the fact that this woman is swirling, and that's what she get for dealing with a white man. What about the black women who still getting their ass whooped by black men? That's not in the news. You know why? Because Pookie and Ray Ray, they're not famous. Okay, so just because right now this is the highlight of the story, this is the highlight of that's going viral, and I know again y'all are getting y'all rocks off on this because a lot of y'all are already against black women swirling, just like you got black women who are against black men who date outside of their race. You know, so I know right now y'all are throwing the confetti, y'all are popping bottles because y'all are happy that y'all feel like somebody is putting these black BTICHs in check. You know, and that has nothing to do with it because again, this woman could have lost her life. So it comes a point where y'all got to put the jokes and the roasting aside. This is a serious matter. I do not condone domestic violence. And I know some of you guys may even say that, yeah, all these black women, now they're talking about we don't need to condone domestic violence. You know, y'all going to try to find anything y'all can to justify this man's behavior. But like I said, even though he is wrong, the thing about it is you got men of all colors that are beating on women of all colors every day. Okay, it's just that they're not famous. All right, so they're not getting no media coverage. So I know a lot of y'all are going to use this as leverage to prove this is why black women should not be swirling. Okay, and y'all are overlooking the whole point. It has everything to do with the fact that this man could have killed her. And the thing about it is there's a couple of things wrong, that's wrong to me that a lot of people are not looking at. For one, he had no business hitting on her. I do not agree with the man putting his hands on a woman, and I also do not agree with the woman putting her hands on a man. I'm against it, period, point blank, either way it go. All right, but the point was, the other issue is he basically tried to blame her on manic disorder. Okay, he was having an episode. Okay, but I find that convenient. You was having a manic episode when you specifically wanted her to bow down, and when she bucked or didn't comply, then you fucking need to put your hands on her. So it wasn't like you came home from work and you just walked in the house and you just slapped the hell out of her out of nowhere. You knew what you were doing. You know, you was already upset because it was something you wanted her to do and she was not complying. So that was the second issue, that I don't hear any accountability. So we want to act like accountability is only an issue that black women have. Accountability is an issue that immature people have. That grown people who lack maturity have. Immature people do not know how to take accountability for their actions. And he was definitely one of those, because he wanted to blame it on his disorder. He wanted to blame it on not taking his medication, or whatever the case may be. So that was the other issue. So, you know, those are really my main issues with it. You know, the fact that he could have killed this woman. Then he's not taking accountability. And also, why did the NFL almost wait damn near a week later by the time they decide to drop him? It's still, and then, you know what, the NFL has always been shady like that. They have always covered these guys that have done all type of dirty undercover things. It even says here, I picked up this ad where it talks about how the NFL case basically shows that um the NFL doesn't care no more than society does. How there's been so many issues of acts of domestic violence with NFL players. You know, you had Steelers offense tackle Jaron Jones, who was charged with excuse me, aggravated assault, strangulation, and simple assault in an alleged fight with his girlfriend. August 7th, Washington running back Darius Goose was accused of strangulation and assault property destruction. 2019 in December, Miami defense back Xavier Howard was arrested after police said he pushed his fiance against the wall. The charges were dropped after the accuser declined to press charges. Year after that, incident after incident, and an ugly pattern emerges. The NFL keeps entering this domestic violence Groundhog Day. Why? Because teams still see talent as a primary factor in their decision making. They will take chances on players like Tyreek Hill, Josh Brown, Greg Hardy, Kareem Hunt. If you have some talent like Willer, you get a shot. If you have lots of talent like Hill, you get many. To some teams, morals are for suckers. The biggest takeaway from the Willer case is the difference between the league office and the individual teams. If the league office had its way, it would never allow Willer to play again. So basically, also defense back Tremaine Brock in 2017 was accused of punching and attempting to choke his girlfriend. And those charges were later dropped because of lack of evidence. The Seahawks signed him. That's one of those type of cases that can be taken with a grain of salt because women like to embellish and exaggerate sometimes too, and they use this Me Too movement to their advantage. So some women will lie and cause a man to lose his career, and he really did not put his hands on him. Women will do it. I've known women who have lied and have caused men to go to jail, who have stained men's criminal records permanently, stained their records the way they can't get a job. So women do lie. Okay, but in this case, that does not even matter because we see the pictures. All right. So the NFL, they've been knew about this, and had it not been circulating, they wouldn't have done anything. They would have kept this going. They would have buried it up under the rug. They would have just probably made him get anger management. They probably would have made him go to therapy. But nothing would have came of it. And unfortunately, that is the harsh reality of the type of world we live in. Again, there's so much gender wars and issues between black men and black women that the moment one of us gets caught up in some type of scandal or gets caught up in some type of bad publicity, here we are the first to do content on the situation, and instead of educating the black community, instead of encouraging the black community to make better decisions, what we do is we take these situations and we use them to promote our own narratives on why black women end up with losers when they decide to swirl, or either black female content creators will take these type of stories and use them to gain empathy and sympathy. You know, when in some situations, sometimes we bring this upon ourselves, and I'm not saying that is what she did, but I'm saying that sometimes we see the signs of an abusive man, but we want to make the relationship work so bad, or we have an image we want to protect, so we will overlook all of the signs, or we already know behind closed doors we are experiencing domestic violence, and instead of you walking away from the situation and leaving that man, you would rather stay in a toxic, abusive relationship because you got a point to prove to other black men. You got a point to prove to other black women. You got a point to prove to your family, your friends, people who you think hating on you. You will stay in unhealthy relationships just to try to spite people, just to try to prove people you're willing to put your well-being, you really put your safety and all of that at risk just because you want to prove a point to people who you think don't want you to have an unhealthy, toxic relationship that they don't even know is unhealthy, but you know it because you're the one that's dealing with it behind closed doors. So this whole situation here is not a good look, and now all of a sudden, you know, he wants to get help, you know, and I feel like he's not sorry about what he did. He's sorry about the fact that he got caught. He has to now walk down hall of shame. He has to face that embarrassment. We know that's what happened with Chad Ochocinco when he had bunted Evelyn Lozada. You know, he had got dropped, but I guess somewhere he learned his lesson, because I don't know if the same team picked him up or what, but he's been, you know, he was able to redeem his career, and he hasn't been in any more domestic situations since then. So some men get in these type of situations and they don't deal with it until their demons are exposed. That is when they go to counseling. That is when they go get help. And some marriages, some relationships can overcome it, and other relationships cannot survive it. You'll have a lot of sisters say, hey, once a man hits on me, I'm out of there. I don't care how much counseling he gets. I don't care how much therapy he gets. Once a man hits me, I am done. And I can totally respect that. However, you have had some women who have encountered a physical situation, and it wasn't an ongoing thing. It was a one-time thing that happened. And I'm not saying this to condone women to stay in a bad relationship. Maybe he was drunk. I don't know what could have happened, but we got to be realistic. This is a very touchy, uncomfortable situation, and people are so quick to say what they would not do. I'ma just leave, I'ma just walk away, and it sounds easier than done. And then a lot of times we make judgment on people who continue to stay in these type of relationships. We look at them like they're weak. We look at them like they don't have a backbone, you know. But it's been women who have gone through it and they have survived it once their husband got counseling, and it never happened again. But for the most part, I recommend that a woman who has continuously gone through this on the regular, it is not going to change. If he's already been hitting on you and beating on you, he's going to continue to keep doing this. So, in men who have this issue, you have a problem with not being able to keep your anger under control. You know, you only can find peace by physically attacking another human being. That's the only way you can feel like you're a man. Then you definitely have a sickness, and you need to get some psychological help for that. Because let's face it, you have men of all colors, not just black men, not just white men, who have this problem. Which brings me to my next issue. Everybody always says the grass is greener. You know, you got black men around here dogging black women, telling black men don't date black women. They better off dating outside their race. They better off swirling. Then when these guys get on the other side, they find out it's no different. You got some white women, not as much as black, who got a mouthpiece on them, who's not going to back down, who's going to fight you for everything you have. Let me tell you something. These white women, they're different now. They're not as docile as they used to be. These white women, these days, they ain't playing the radio. You better ask Scottie Pippen about his wife, Larsa Pippen. She has no shame. She's not embarrassed that she's stepping right on outside of her marriage with another young, upcoming basketball player, football player, whoever the hell she's dealing with now. And she's parading it all on his face. Has no regards for how she embarrassing Scottie Pippen, their children. Her son already said he felt some type of way about his mama thoughting it up. So this is what a lot of people have to understand. The grass is not always greener, in this case whiter. Y'all think it's so much easier because you have learned to bash each other and trash each other, which I don't see other sectors doing that. I don't see even the white guys in the white manosphere, I don't even see them going in on their women as much as black men do. And the devil's advocate, I don't see white women going in on black women the way that black women go in on black men. It is always our race that is so quick to dog and bash one another. And this is why we can't get ahead. Because it's that crab of the barrel. We willing to pull each other down just to come up. It's like that slave mentality. Like, you know, you had Negroes who was cleaning inside the master's house. They had the Negroes in the cotton hating on them or jealous of them because the Negroes who had to pick cotton was looking at the fact the other Negroes, at least y'all in the house. At least y'all ain't out here living in the shack, living in the cold weather. We got to live out here in the raggedy shacks. At least you get to live in the house. But guess what? Both will still get mistreated. It did not matter if you was picking cotton or if the master had you in the mansion cleaning for him. No, neither one had it easy. You still was still a slave. You still ain't had no rights and no say so. You still was getting whooped. You still was getting beat. It didn't matter. And we still have that slavery plantation attitude where you got black women that are resenting black men because they feel like black men can get opportunities that a lot of black women can't get. And then you have a lot of black men that are resentful against black women because they feel like society has a lot of empathy for black women. When we down and out, we can always get help. They can't get no help. They got to go out there and scrape every nickel and dime if they want to get ahead. So again, all this gender war, and that has become the main issue. That has become the main topic. People ain't really caring about the fact that this is a domestic violence situation, and domestic violence is not acceptable. No, y'all want to use this as material to make your point. To hurt and harm and disgrace one another. That's what black men and black women want to do. Because let's face it, a lot of these black men in the black YouTube sector, they got a lot of hostility against the Swirling sisters. And the reason why they do is because the Swirling Sister Committee, they have put other races of men so high on the pedestal. It's one thing, okay, if you're going to date outside of your race, that's fine. But you don't have to bash another race to make your points valid. If you want to date a white woman, date a white woman. Be happy with your white woman. But you ain't got to put down black women just to prove that you're happy with your white woman. Same thing. You got you a white man. You got you some jungle fever. You happy with your white man. You don't have to put down black men because you got you a white man. You don't have to encourage other sisters to swirl because you chose to swirl. It may not pan out for her like it panned out for you. This sister here, it didn't pan out for her like she thought it would. At the end of the day, this is what I keep telling people. A grimy does not discriminate. When a person is grimy, they grimy. You got some grimy ass white men out here, some grimy ass black men out here, some grimy ass white women, some grimy ass black women. Grimy is grimy. Guess what? All races have issues. This white man, his issues ain't no different from what these other black men out here doing. He ain't the only one who's beating up on his wife. I know plenty of them. They just not on the news for the brothers to compare and contrast what black men do and what white men do. It's not a black man thing. It's not a white man thing. It's a sickness thing. When a man feels the only way he can control a woman is by putting his hands on her. If it got to resort to that, then you ain't controlling anything. Because your wife, your children, you should be able to get them to do what you say do without you having to raise a hand. If you got to keep slapping and knocking somebody down, then evidently you're not running anything. You're not regulating anything. If that's what it takes for you to to gain control of your house. So this whole situation, honestly, is just all the way bad. You know, again, as I stated before, this is one of those uncomfortable, touchy situations. And I wish people would focus on the right thing instead of focusing on making this BFF material or bashing black men material. Because, again, I know a lot of people didn't think too many sisters was going to address this because they feel like we like to hide or run from things, especially if it's something that they feel is going to that we're going to feel bad about, or something that could possibly make us look bad. But I'm glad there are a few sisters that are addressing it and they're not condoning it. I don't care if you're white, purple, or green. No man should be putting his hands on no woman, or no woman should be putting her hands on a man. If you got to put your hands on each other to gain self-control, to gain control of your house, gain control of your relationship, y'all don't need to be together. That's the bottom line, because somebody going to end up dead. Especially you got children left behind. Your children don't need to be seeing mommy beating up on daddy or daddy beating up on mommy. That's how those generational curses start to develop. You make it normal in your household, it becomes normal in your children's household, then it becomes normal in your grandchildren's household. It keeps going while you're long gone and you're not even here anymore to rectify the problem. But anyway, this is a very ugly situation that transpired and took place, and it costed him. And I'm pretty certain this probably ain't his first time. He wants to blame this on manic depression. This is not his first time he about hit this woman. I said, I don't know this woman. I don't know if she provoked it, if she hit him first. I don't know. It's always two sides to a story. Wrong is still wrong, regardless of what. Because I know the media likes to embellish and they make things seem one way when it's really a whole nother way. So really the only ones who really know the truth is Chad, you know, I forgot his name already. Chad Wooler and her, and God are the only three who really know the truth about what transpired. And if she continues to stay with him, she think the media eating her up. She think these guys who represent the BFF community is eating her up. If she stays with him after this, she's definitely going to catch a lot of flack. And that's the thing about having a marital relationship. Where you humiliate each other publicly like that, sometimes people are not going to allow you to reconcile your marriage in peace, because people are going to keep reminding you of what happened. Because let me tell you something, they're not the only couple that has gone through this. Some couples have gone through this and they have survived it. And you would never know the story because they have grown, they have learned from it, and it never happened again. But a lot of people want to act bougie, like, oh, if that was me, I would never. And I can respect that. But at the same time, let's be realistic. Relationships aren't perfect. Shit happens. I don't condone his actions. And I don't condone her staying or leaving. At the end of the day, that's a decision she got to make. But either way, this is not a good look. He embarrassed himself. He embarrassed her. He lost his career. I don't know who else is going to pick him up. Now, this is the other point I want to make. For all you guys that are rejoicing about Mr. Wheeler physically assaulting this woman, the reason why y'all, and I'm not saying why y'all should be coming to her defense, because I already know y'all not going to do that. And I'm not encouraging black women to defend her or anything. But what I am saying is y'all should be pushing for him to get prosecuted, because the law doesn't spare any mercy on y'all as black men. Had it been one of y'all, they would have locked y'all in the jail and threw away the key. Y'all should be the ones advocating for men like him to not get by with domestic violence, because the law doesn't let y'all do it. Now that's what y'all should be pushing, instead of sitting up here doing all this content about, yeah, these sisters swirling, you got what you deserve. That's what you get. Ha ha ha. Y'all should be, you brothers should be coming together and stating no. If y'all gonna throw the book at us, y'all need to throw the book at them. A lot of y'all done did time just for pushing a female, just pushing them. Had to be in jail for 6 months to a year. And the way he beat that woman, y'all should be advocating like, no, black men, we're not allowed to get away with committing them kind of offenses, and y'all let us walk out the jail scot-free. Y'all should be advocating that if y'all got to do time for if it would have been the other way around, the law wouldn't have spared no mercy on y'all. Don't spare no mercy on him. Because let's face it, the judicial system is very biased. If you ain't got the complexion for the connection, you done. So that's what I wish more brothers would push for that. You ain't got to come to her defense or any other black women defense, but y'all need to defend yourselves, because the law don't have no mercy on y'all when y'all do these type of things. So that's what y'all need to be pushing. Push for the judicial system to make an example out of all male athletes of all colors to pay for their actions through the law. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to shut it down. I just want to give my opinion on this Chad Wheeler situation. Definitely, I don't know from this point. Hopefully he can handle it, because honestly, people in his position, if he's manic depression, which that could just be a facade to justify his actions, but usually when these type of dudes are people in the limelight that are celebrities, when they catch this kind of negative heat, hopefully he doesn't end up suicidal behind it. Because let's face it, they can, and I'm gonna say this as appropriate as I can, the Clorox community, they're not used to going through what we go through. So when it's their turn to go through something that we normally go through, they normally can't handle it. They become suicidal. Hopefully he does something to harm himself, because he can't handle the ridicule. He can't handle the pressure of losing everything, because you know how they do. And I'm saying that as appropriately as I can say it without trying to offend anybody. So hopefully he could be man enough to stand through this and not take the coward way out, because he done lost his career, you know, hopefully. And I definitely hope the woman gets her help, gets her counseling. Hopefully she's able to recover from this, because experiencing domestic violence is no joke. Only those who actually experienced it could understand what she's going through. But at my point in time, really, I wish the best for them. I hope it works out. You know, it's sad that I had to come through this, but relationships and marriages go through trials and tribulations. But he definitely could have killed her. And the fact that he asked her why if she was still alive, all that's red flags to me. But this just goes to show y'all, man, black men and black women need to stop dogging each other. Swirling ain't working for everybody. You think going on the other side is going to be less stressful? You think you're going to get better chances? Then you get over there, whether you a black man who gets with a white woman, or a black woman who gets with a white man, you get on that side because you let these YouTube coaches get in your head. You need to swirl. You need to date women of other countries and all of that. Then when you get in that situation, you be like, damn, this ain't all what I thought it was. This ain't no better. I should have just stayed where the hell I was had I known I was gonna have to go through this. So it just goes to show you, you're not exempt from problems. It don't matter who you be with, what color they are, what color of the reading rainbow that you choose to be with. You don't know what kind of problems your companion has that you're going to end up having to deal with as your relationship progresses. So anyway, y'all, leave y'all comments below. Let me know what y'all think of the situation. Do y'all feel like she deserved it because she should have been with a black man? She brought this upon herself. Do y'all think that the NFL took so long to bring this issue about? What do y'all think made them wait a week later for it to hit the media outlet, for it to get to this point? Because like I said, this already happened. Leave y'all opinion below. I would like to get y'all comment on this, and just let me know what y'all think it is. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Don't forget, if you want to donate to my movement, you're more than welcome at $DymondGyrl, DymondGyrl. That's my cash app. So anyway, leave y'all comment below and let me know what y'all think. I'll holler at y'all soon. Take care. Bye.